Now looking at the pitch, obviously over our shoulder, the pitch is still looking mustard.
At the moment,
At the moment, you always say that. Whenever someone goes, the pitch is great. At the moment, it's a fair point though. Obviously, with the pitch being so good, also it's being used a lot as well, isn't it? I know you're always conscious to express how much the game is. With the pandemic, obviously the season's shorter. Is that bad news or good news for your pitch?
Well, it was nice to have a break. We've done a basic renovation, not knowing whether the season was going to come back or whether we were going to get a long break. It turns out we could have done a big renovation, but we didn't. So, but it was nice to have some time, as opposed to 6 weeks to grow a pitch into 3 months. We've got a great root structure there, and look, let's see what the winter brings. Drain lines aren't showing up at the moment, which is great. Look, the fixture schedule is heavy. This is the 5th game this month. The temperatures are still up, so recovery is good. But December's looking a bit dodgy. But we'll see what the weather brings, and hopefully we'll just do our best and get through, and hopefully get a big renovation at the end of the season. Yeah,
because I remember the conversations that sort of you and the hierarchy at the club were having in March time. Because obviously the season had been curtailed, and I remember we were talking to the EFL and going, well, shall we do our pitch renovations now? Because if the season starts again, there'll be no summer to do it, and we need to do something. At one point, we were talking about a really big, like we did a few years ago, did a big renovation.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe frustrating that we didn't when we could have. However, we have still done a renovation rather than waiting.
I imagine some clubs didn't even do a renovation because of financial situations and stuff like that. Look, we got on it. We've had enough time to get it where we've got it, and it's good. It's proved the point to the club, always pushing me for a 6-week growing because of friendlies. The more time we have, the better we can get it. So
people in the commercial department always looking to
hire it out. Get a bit of 10% and stuff like that.
Those guys.
I know who does that.
Obviously, we have Brighton ladies play here, and that is why the pitch usage is so high. Possibly even one of the highest in the whole Football League, I can imagine. How many games are we expecting to have this year?
So I think we're at number 12 or about 44, 45, depending on cup games and stuff like that. It's not so much, it is the games, but it's the recovery between. We need a break for the pitch to recover. It doesn't look like we're going to get that. I think we're getting 10 days maximum recovery at the moment, looking at the fixture list. So look, it all depends on the winter we have. Hopefully we won't have one like last year. That was just the worst one I've known. Obviously, when the major renovations were done 2 years ago, the pitch was superb all year, which meant we didn't invest in it the second year, but obviously the drain lines showed up last year, but hopefully they won't this year, and we can get that big renovation to get the part synthetic root zone in there.
Yeah, and I was just going to come on to plans for the future. Is that people probably be amazed how much goes into a pitch. I think people think you put a bit of seed down and hope it grows. But
that's it. Just cut the grass. Yeah, that's it.
But obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. What are your plans and the club plans, or what are you hoping happens?
Well, all depending if Brighton are going to be here, which we're hoping that they are. We're hoping to get a fibre sand root zone, which is little fibre particles, which means the natural roots can intertwine, and it just makes the surface a bit more stable. The next thing after that would hopefully just be a couple of lighting rigs just to get recovery during the winter. But it's all money, isn't it? And at the moment, the fact that we're playing football is great. Let's just see what happens.
And finally on the pitch, obviously you were here 10, 15 years ago?
Nearly 9-10 years, yeah.
How much, as I remember we had problems with the pitch on a regular basis, how much better now is the pitch? Not just how it looks, but actually the structure of the pitch now than it was for 10 years.
So the drainage works because we have primary and secondary drainage installed. When people say we've had a new pitch, we actually haven't had a new pitch since I've been here in 10 years. It is still the same root zone. There is a bit of anaerobic soil in there, but because we're doing regular aeration and work with the consultants from STRI, it is in a good place. There's still issues there underneath, but we know what they are and we deal with them. So.
Brilliant. Ben, really interesting. As I say, we would show people too just think you turn up and cut the grass, but obviously there's a hell of a lot more to it. The pitch looks fantastic, so great work.
Thank you.